everyone, good morning. I want to share something that happened this morning because it really struck me and I just thought maybe it would be of interest to you. So in the span of the last maybe 90 minutes, I had 4 different people reach out to me, all wanting to share that they felt pretty guilty for where they are. And interestingly, the 4 different places, one person feels like they're sleeping too much and just kind of so lazy and can't shake out of it. One person feels very overwhelmed and anxious still and just like cannot shake that and felt very guilty about feeling that way when other people are kind of moving on in the world. One person felt like they just could not start planning ahead and they know they should be, so there was the should again. And the other person, what did they say? There was 4. Oh, just that they're paralyzed, that they feel completely stuck. They're in sort of no man's land. And just that made them feel guilty, like they should be able to do something, some direction, and they just feel very stuck. And then I got a 5th person, and they had the exact opposite the same emotional reaction, but the exact opposite reason. So they felt guilty, again, because they have been overzealous and enjoying every second of their quarantine and getting projects done, and they're planning for 6 more, and they feel guilty because they think they should be feeling worse during quarantine, and they felt guilty because they didn't want to say anything to anyone around them because they didn't want anybody to be mad at them or think that they were taking this too lightly. So when you get that many messages at once, it kind of sticks out to you. And it had me just starting to think about why and how we as humans, we really judge ourselves and we struggle so desperately with just being where we are. So here we are. It's 8 weeks or so into this pandemic and to this shelter in place for us in the States here. And some of us probably feel it's very similar to week 1. Some feel that you're either on the brink of or have already started something new. And I'm sure many things in the middle. And I guess I want to say today that it doesn't really matter where you are. What really matters is that you give yourself permission to feel and be with truth where you are. So if you feel overwhelmed, frozen, depressed, struggling, and guys, we know that, the phrase that we're all in this together. I'm sure you guys have seen the thing that's been going around that says, we're in the same storm together, but we all have different boats. And I really like that because we are in this together. We are going to help each other through. But our experiences are somewhat different. If you have kids, if you don't have kids, if you've got elderly parents, you don't have elderly parents, you have lost your job, you have not lost your job. So your experience is unique to you, and you have permission to feel it, to live it, and to be in it. So just right there, pause for a moment and take a deep breath in, please. As you breathe out, just permission to be where you are, to be okay where you are with what you feel, what you're doing, what you're not doing. Breathe in again. Permission to feel what you feel and to be where you are. There is no evidence in the world of growth and change and recovery and grief and loss. There's just no evidence that says by willing ourselves to be into a different state, we can just fly there with no repercussions. All evidence supports that if we just lean into where we are and get really aware of that state, it will ultimately move. And we will move through it, and we will move to the next and to the next. And meanwhile, the world around you will be moving as well. So, if anything, just take this moment today to do a reset. Permission to feel what you feel, to be where you are, to have some self-compassion and some grace. And also to be careful that we're not imposing where we are with judgment on anybody else with where they are. So hold that truth as well. Go forth this week in gratitude and in grace with yourself and in permission. I love you. I hope you have a safe, healthy, and happy week, or at least moment of content, peace, and presence.